Today we're making super tasty Chinese pork belly slices with garlic chili oil noodles.
Hi, I'm Angie. Welcome back to Dinner and a Side, where my sister Laura and I share our favorite dinner combos. We're making a main dish and a side in our separate kitchens. Follow along and you'll have dinner on the table in no time.
We think you're gonna love this dinner combo. Pork belly is inexpensive and the strips cook up really fast. And I mean, who doesn't love chili oil noodles?
We're starting out today with the pork belly. We made a Japanese braised pork belly a few months ago that you should check out here. There are so many great ways to make pork belly, but many of them take hours, and I just don't often have time for that. Today we're cooking pork belly slices, which cook way faster than the larger pieces and are very versatile. You can serve these with whatever you like. Since they're thin, it's always best to marinate them first, if you have time. If you don't, that's fine too. The marinade is soy sauce, rice vinegar, garlic, brown sugar, hoisin sauce, sesame oil, Chinese 5-spice, and black pepper. If you're not planning on marinating, you only need half of this. Whisk that all together. Pour half the sauce over the pork belly in a bowl or bag and marinate for at least 30 minutes, or overnight if you have time for that. We'll reserve this remaining sauce for later. Before I go, I'll just preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 190 degrees Celsius, so it can warm up while Laura's prepping the noodles.
Have you gotten caught up in the chili oil craze lately? I have to admit it, I am totally addicted.
The what?
I pour it over everything. It is so good. And it's actually really easy to make. I'm gonna show you today. But be warned, you're gonna wanna make these chili noodles all the time. Add the oil to a small pot. I'm using peanut oil here, that's my preference, but any neutral oil will work, like vegetable oil or canola oil. And I'm gonna add the garlic as well. As you can see, I smashed the garlic, but I've left it pretty much whole. Okay, we'll just let that heat up for a little while. It needs to reach about 225 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a shortcut version of a more authentic Chinese chili oil, which would need to simmer longer with other spices like cinnamon and star anise. If you want to make that version, you can. Just add those spices and let this simmer for about an hour. While this heats up, let's get back to Angie and the pork belly.
Time to get the pork belly out of the fridge. Pull these out, place them on a baking sheet covered with parchment paper. We'll start out baking them for 15 minutes. After that, we'll baste them and put them back in. While that's baking, I'm going to reduce and thicken the sauce we made earlier. Add the sauce to a pan and heat it over medium heat until it's slightly thickened and reduced.
Angie, there's your pork belly timer.
These are looking great. Baste each piece with a good amount of the sauce on both sides. Then put it back into the oven for another 15 minutes.
The oil has just reached the right temperature, so I'm gonna take it off of the heat and let it sit just for a minute while we mix up the other ingredients. It's important to use a heat-proof bowl for this so it doesn't shatter when we pour in the oil. So do check the bottom of it and make sure that it's oven safe. I should warn you, I'm making more of a chili crisp oil today. I'm putting in peanuts, some dried onions, and some sesame seeds, which will give this oil a little bit more texture. It'll stick to the noodles better and it's gonna give it a nice crunch. Mix together the peanuts, Sichuan chili powder, dried onions, sesame seeds, soy sauce, brown sugar, paprika, and salt. Remove the garlic now from the oil so you're ready to pour it in. This is where the magic happens. You pour that hot oil right over the top of these ingredients and the aroma is just wonderful. We're gonna dress our noodles with this, but you can use it for so many other things. You can drizzle it on your rice bowls, mix it into dips or soups, or even use it to flavor veggies. I even spread it on sandwiches. The last step is to cook the noodles. I'm using these wide Chinese knife-cut noodles. You can get these dried or fresh at most Asian markets, but if you don't have one near you, Angie wasn't able to find them in her small town, you can get them online. You can even buy them from Amazon.
I thought you were sending me some, but they never showed up.
Whoops. Well, if you can't get them, you can also use pappardelle pasta. You could use egg noodles or a wide rice noodle. Cook them for a minute or two less than the package says so that they're al dente. Then drain them and put them back on the stove top. Now we get to pour on the chili oil, my favorite part. This amount should be enough for 4 servings of noodles. some of the starchy water if the noodles are too dry. Then serve it with green onions and sesame seeds for garnish.
Now that the garlic chili oil noodles are done, let's finish up this dish. The pork belly is ready.
That looks totally irresistible. Now that you've got dinner on the table tonight, why not plan ahead for tomorrow night by watching one of our other videos before you go?
That pork belly, wow.